Hi, Petri. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I hope I pronounced, well, first your name correctly, but also the name of your company correctly. Did I?
Yeah, I think it's close enough. I think the Finnish names are quite difficult, but you did excellent on that.
Thanks. Just quickly, your company where you are the CISO, what are you doing?
So kind of really simple. So we are creating stainless steel. So I think we are number one in Europe, number two in US. So and we try to do the green steel. So cutting the carbon footprint as minimum as possible.
Okay, good to know. We're going to talk today, like as I said, on Industry 4.0. The integration of AI and basically how to deal with all those developments and how to deal with the challenges I briefly mentioned already. To kick off, just from your experience, what kind of, if you see the evolution into the manufacturing landscape as we are right now, what kind of insights, what kind of trends have you seen so far?
So I have always spoken that kind of if we start, for example, from the 70s, so there has been lots of machinery out there, and then kind of when kind of the time has evolved, so more and more they are connected to network. So what has been perfectly fine back then on those times, what you have been doing, so it's not the way it should be done now in the 4.0, as you mentioned on this time. So we need to take quite a lots of look. So how we are protecting, the manufacturing environment nowadays.
Yeah. Do you think we're still at pace, or are we behind, or are we one step ahead? What kind of stage are we currently in when it comes to those challenges?
Yeah, of course, it depends, from the company and countries and etc. I would say the manufacturing industry, like I said, so it's kind of maybe a bit behind because of the legacy and how things have been evolved. So and of course, if you have big machinery in your factory, so it's not that easy to transform something immediately to be secure, because you need to ensure that the business is up and running 24/7 as well. So there are the certain times you can do certain things and kind of then plan carefully what you are doing when supporting the business all the time.
Yeah. So planning is of course one of the key aspects in the manufacturing industry, but it is still even more important nowadays, given all those new challenges and new technologies coming in, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, we need to secure everything what we are implementing nowadays to, reduce the threat landscape what we are having in our factories.
Yeah. We're talking about challenges. Of course, we're also going to talk about opportunities, because I personally love to also have a rather optimistic view on the future, of course. But therefore, still, we need to think about the challenges, of course. From an overall perspective, what kind of specific challenges do you observe in the current landscape? If you would pick out 2 or 3 big challenges you see from your experience, what are those?
Of course, nowadays is the kind of mis and disinformation out there. So what you read and see kind of on the news, it's not true, and of course, kind of how that affects our workforce, our employees as well. So we need to take care that they are secured as well. Of course, kind of the business we are in, so we need to make sure that we are protected against different types of malicious actors. So we need to think about from the physical security through cyber security. So a really huge landscape from that point of view. So there are multiple multiple things out there. But of course, like you said, it's not all about risk. There are kind of course opportunities as well. So I would say that the opportunity is to educate our workforce as well to do the correct things, that we are keeping the company secure. So we need to remember that sometimes it's said that the human is the weakest link, but I would say that it's also a strength that we get them to do the correct things through engagement, awareness, and etc. So we are on a good path there.
Yeah, interesting. We're coming to the workforce later on, but first I'm also always looking for, of course, practical examples. Do you have some practical examples already in your expertise, or what you see in maybe your own company? Given those challenges, what are like digital driven or AI solutions that are already start implementing in order to overcome those challenges? Do you have some examples of that?